Within a moment, we are going to start the session. I request everyone to please keep their mic and camera off for better connectivity. Just in a moment, we are going to start the session.
Dr. Poonam,
Yes, sir.
you could start.
Very good afternoon. Namaskar. Welcome everyone. Present over here. This our third session in this series and first talk on homeopathy and is a research exercise. The main objective of the series is to develop scientific therapy in COVID-19 wherein we meet the domain experts sharing their experience with us. And today we eminent speaker Kaushik sir, who is scientific Noida UP. As various research have been carried out in homeopathic research council to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. So he will be sharing his homeopathic research experiences with us today. Now, before starting the session, I would like to invite Dr. Anup Srivastava, sir, Director of RAV, to please welcome us and address us with his kind words. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Poonam. And once again, on behalf of RAV, my entire team, I welcome you all in the third webinar series on exploring the facts, particularly in this pandemic period when the entire world is suffering from this problem. Today, we are fortunate that we are having the deliberation from one of the experts of Ayush family, that is a homeopathy. Earlier, we had deliberation from the Ayurveda and also from the Siddha experts. Today, we would be hearing the research potentials which was made so far on the homeopathy and what the basically interventions in terms of the management of the COVID could be seen from the perspective of homeopathy. We all are aware homeopathic is not a very new thing to particular Indian population. Yes, this is a medical system, codified medical system, and one of the member of Ayush. This was developed in Germany for more than, to best of my knowledge, 300 or 300 years before. And this homeopathy is, we all know, it is a very simple and cheapest mode of the treatment and quite effective, which basically works on a two theories to best of my understanding. The principle of the low dose or the minimum dose, we all know that the lower it is, as per the homeopathy, the lower the dose of the medication, the greater it affects, or the effectiveness of the drug is more high when it is taken in a lower dose. And we have also seen since our childhood that the many homeopathic products are in different dilutions are available, 30, 60, 90. And these are the few dilutions. And basically, if you talk about from the conventional side, it appears even if dilation, the more it is dilation, even it is very difficult to identify the molecules, active molecules in that drug or that particular formulation. Yet it shows the dramatic effects and results. So this is the beauty of the homeopathic. And another the known fact, the known simple, the theory or the simple base is that like cures like. It is notion that the disease can be cured by the substance having the similar symptom, by a substance that produces a similar symptom in healthy individuals. So this is the basically two theories were found to best of understanding the homeopathic works, and it is definitely loved by all, especially for the children, and it is very effective since the children it is very palatable to all age group of the persons. So this only with a small background, to best of my understanding, we will be hearing today's this thing, expert who has he is a master's and also PhD in homeopathic specialty. Before I hand over this platform to our expert, I would request Dr. Poonam to please share us a brief about today's experts, followed by which our learned expert will start the deliberation. Over to you, Dr. Poonam. And once again, welcome to all of you who have joined this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. As with your kind one. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Bindu Sharma, ma'am, Assistant Director of Homeopathy, and address us with her valuable inputs. Over to you.
Hello, Dr. Poonam. Hello, Dr.
Yeah,
Poonam.
you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead.
This is Dr. Bindu Sharma. I'm working as Assistant Director Homeopathy at Central Council for Research in Homeopathy. And I've been invited to give a few introductory remarks on the session of webinar that will be conducted by Dr. Subhash Kaushik, who is working as Scientist 4 at Dr. D.P. Rastogi Central Research Institute for Homeopathy at Noida. A century ago, Spanish flu ravaged across the globe, killing millions, devastating the world economy and creating a socio-political turmoil. And today the world is struggling again against the coronavirus disease crisis. Despite landmark achievements in the field of medicine and advent of antiviral therapeutic interventions and measures, humanity finds itself as helpless as it was 100 years ago. COVID-19 may end up pushing the world closer to how it looked in 1918. Since there were no vaccines to protect and no antiviral drugs to treat influenza, control efforts were limited to isolation, personal hygiene, and sanitation, and limiting public gatherings. Strangely, similar steps are being followed now also for the containment of current outbreak. The only difference is information dissemination through a variety of mediums which are available now. And the electronic media has launched a massive awareness campaign, which is proving a great tool in combating and preventing the spread of COVID-19. As of now, the world has witnessed 16 crore 43 lakh 5,625 patients infected with COVID, out of which there have been 34 lakh 5,682 casualties. In India, the figure is 2 crore 52 lakh 28,996, with deaths numbering at 2,78,751, which is a colossal human loss. We as homeopathic fraternity, we contributed very successfully during the Spanish flu pandemic also. And This time also, we are trying to contribute our share in treating the patients with COVID-19 as per the advisory issued by Ministry of Ayush, with distribution of Ars album as a prophylactic to masses. In August 2020, there were more than 20 lakh COVID-19 survivors in India. And in recent days, various news reports, they mention interviews with physicians in tertiary care reporting patients purportedly recovered from acute COVID-19 episodes to be suffering from various conditions ranging from weakness to diarrhea, vomiting, to more severe conditions such as thromboembolism, myocarditis, and lung fibrosis. These numbers, they may be limited presently, but with increasing number of infections and subsequently survivors, the post-COVID-19 illnesses, they are likely to be reported more frequently, requiring the medical community to gear itself for its diagnosis and treatment. Around 30 plus studies, they have been registered in CTRI on homeopathy, and Central Council for Research in Homeopathy has undertaken around 12 studies in different settings, out of which 7 have been concluded. There have been preventive studies on mass population, target population, prisons, and police personnel. There have been treatment studies at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Jhajjar, where Dr. Kaushik, who will be presenting the webinar, he was involved directly in the hospital setups, and post-COVID sequelae studies, they are also in the pipeline. We have already done studies as with homeopathy as a clinical add-on. 5 number of studies we have conducted, prophylactic 3 studies conducted, and preclinical 3 studies have been conducted, while there has been a retrospective observational study, which is 1 study we have conducted. So with this background, I would like to invite Dr. Subhash Kaushik to make his deliberations with the homeopathic research experience in COVID-19. Thank you.
Also MBA at Sikkim Manipal University, and he is also Reiki master. He had bagged NIE ICMR E certificate and stood 3rd rank from IIT Kharagpur in 2018. He is presently serving as research officer in Central Council for Research as Scientist 4 and hospital in charge at Dr. D.P. Rastogi Central Research Institute Homeopathy, Noida, UP. He is a nodal officer and also mentor of Ayush Helpline for COVID-19 home isolation cases. He is NABH coordinator and is actively working for NABH accreditation of D.P. Rastogi Central Institute. He also served as chairman of Central Purchase Committee in charge of extramural research scheme of Ayush, and in charge of pharmacovigilance in homeopathy in northeastern states. He does supervision of drug proving program of whole CCRH and clinical projects of CCRH. He had compiled Materia Medica and did protocol development as coordinator for various diseases such as vitiligo, furunculosis. Also served as investigator in projects of chronic sinusitis, pre-diabetic condition, and he had published 52 articles in national and international journals, and also organized 27 and attended 176 workshops, and also had participated in radio or TV talk shows on behalf of CCRH. Now, without wasting much time, I would like to hand over mic to Dr. Subhash Kaushik sir and request him to please continue with the session. Over to you, sir.
सभी को नमस्कार। बेहतर है रिजोल्यूशन के लिए अच्छा है कि सभी अगर वीडियो अपनी बंद कर लें तो ज़्यादा अच्छा कुछ हो पाएगा। एंड मैं अपने से शुरू करता हूँ। नाउ आई एम प्रेजेंटिंग माय पीपीटी। अभी देख पा रहे हैं डॉक्टर पूनम? इज इट फाइन?
यस सर, गो।
ओके ओके ओके। Let us start with homeopathy. The term homeopathy is derived from two words. Homeo means similar and pathos means suffering or disease. So homeopathy is a holistic approach to healing with its central tenet, as just Dr. Anupam said, similia similibus curantur, that is like cures like. So homeopathy is a system of medicine which believes in a specialized method of treatment, system of curing natural diseases by administration of potentized drugs which have been experimentally proved to possess the power of producing similar artificial symptoms on healthy human beings. So homeopathy has its own view of illness and treatment principle as well as practice style. So we have different sources to obtain homeopathic drugs. These are plant sources, animal, chemical, nosodes from where we take medicine from the disease part, then sarcodes from healthy part, and imponderabilia. These are the medicines from plant source we get. No need to go in detail. These are the animal source. You can see Cantharis, sepia, and apis here. These are the chemical sources we get medicine from. And dosage forms of homeopathy includes. Hello.
Interrupt. Sir, not moving.
Slides are not moving.
Are not moving.
Okay. These are the dosage form from which we got medicines, potencies, mother tincture, tablets, eyes, ears, drop, skin ointment. Now it's moving now. Is it fine?
No,
No,
it's not.
no, not moving.
No.
So,
Okay.
yeah, now.
Yes.
Now it is moving.
Is it moving now? So should I do like this only? I have covered this. Is it moving now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So I have
Please
covered
go
this
ahead.
part, sources of homeopathic drugs. Plant source, animal source, chemical source, nosodes, sarcodes, imponderabilia. These are the medicines from plant source. We got these medicines from different parts of plant. So no need to go in detail. These are the animal source from where we got these medicines. This is, you can see, Cantharis. This is sepia. This is apis mel. Now slides are moving.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. These are the chemical source from which we got the homeopathic medicines. And these are the dosage form of homeopathic medicines, which we get potencies, mother tincture, tablet, ear, eye drops, and skin ointment. Now let us come to the role of CCRH in this COVID-19. Basically, it starts from the training of COVID management, created COVID warrior, and we started this work since 10th April 2020 from our Handyman's Day. Second objective was to promotion of immunity boosting measures. Third role was to care, isolation and surveillance of the cases. Then initiation of research activities, different research activities as Dr. Bindu just mentioned. Then introduction of telemedicine and Ayush Sanjeevani app. And in regard of this sensitization of training module, we just developed this to where we are helping the home isolated persons or quarantine person through this Ministry of Ayush helpline number. So we developed this training schedule, which includes, we are giving training to different homeopaths on this, which includes knowledge of disease, its progress and further referral, then effectively communicate information about general management about COVID-19 we use to guide the patient. And then we just tell the homeopathic case taking through teleconsultation, how to take 5-6 symptoms and then suggest any medicine to that patient. Then adjuvant homeopathic management of COVID-19, we are adding that part also. Plus we are following the telemedicine concept and practice guideline. And this is the role of our institute, Dr. D.P. Rastogi Central Research Institute, Noida. What we have done, we are working as pharmacy, mini pharmacy for CCRH and made thousands of prophylaxis medicines. We are running OPDs here, plus we are distributing prophylaxis at mass level. arsenic album 30 through our SRPs, SWAS Rakshan program, and SC camps in both containment zones and non-containment zones. Likewise, we are follow up all villagers to whom we are distributing prophylaxis. So this is our main role nowadays in this COVID situation. You can see this is our institute, which is situated at Noida. This is our staff engaged in this formation of
Excuse me.
arsenic album. You are getting the
Excuse me, sir.
slides now?
No, sir. Please share it again, sir.
Okay,
It's not visible now. Please share it again, sir.
okay. Is it visible now?
Not yet, sir.
No.
Okay, just.
I request everyone to please keep their video camera off.
Are you getting now?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Yes, please continue.
Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. So this is our institute where we are working, and we have deploy all our staff in making prophylaxis medicine. This is the arsenic album. We used to do, because we have our own mini pharmacy, so we have started production of arsenic album 30 because at that time it was not available in the market. So this is all rated. This is our usual OPD. It used to be our usual OPD just prior to COVID infection. Are you getting the slides now?
Sir, please move the slide. We are on slide number 12, sir, right now.
Okay.
Yes, now okay.
Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our institute. Now you are getting the picture.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So we deploy our all staff in production of this arsenic album. Maybe our staff nurses, our doctors, our ward boys, our AYA, all staff were engaged, and we started like this. Now you are getting pictures.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Because there was shortage of arsenic album at that time when it was announced by the ministry. So we started our own production of arsenic album because we have mini pharmacy at our institute also. So we started production of our own arsenic album and distributed like this in whole NCR where required. Previously our OPD was used to be like this. Are you getting this picture?
Yes.
Okay. So we have an average of 600 to 700 patients per day just prior to COVID. And we used to give them lectures about sanitization, about SWAS Rakshan, everything like this. So after this COVID infection, we just follow these COVID appropriate behavior. So we have made changes like this in our OPDs for physical distancing. Prior to that, we used to do OPD like this with mask. Then after COVID second wave, we have started like this with the proper distance from the patient.
Somebody's mic is on off.
Is it fine visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. During our first in 2020, during first lockdown, we developed 3 protocols. One was to see the effectiveness of arsenic album in prevention of COVID-19 in quarantined individuals, and that was a randomized open label placebo controlled trial, where we selected 1000 suspected cases, 500 in each arm. Means one arm we give arsenic, we plan to give arsenic, and to another placebo. The second study, it was the effectiveness of pre-identified homeopathic medicines in asymptomatic COVID-19 individuals. That was an open label randomized placebo control trial. There we have taken 3 medicines: arsenic album 30, camphora 1 mg, and Britannia 30. Because the doctors from Bombay, they suggested camphora, and from international sources they said that Britannia 30 is working well. So we have planned to take a study on 200 cases in quarantine asymptomatic cases, and then give them this 250 patient arsenic album, then camphora 1 mg, and then Britannia 30 plus identical placebo to rest 50. Another study we planned, this was homeopathy as adjuvant to standard treatment protocol in management of COVID-19 infection. It was a randomized placebo control open label exploratory study. So this was done on 100 individuals, 50 patients in each group. So these are the basic first hand studies we have taken. And now I am just coming to the what research work we have done in this COVID situation. Are you getting this slide?
Yes.
Okay. So the first study was to see the effectiveness of arsenic album as prophylactic against COVID-19. And there were 2, this is the mixture of 2 studies. One is cohort and another is randomized control trial. So out of these 2 studies, one of cohort study and another was randomized multicentric collateral trial, control trial. The cohort study was undertaken at 11 containment zones at Delhi, wherein the study was conducted in 27 containment zones of 7 cities: Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Surat, Machilipatnam, and Hyderabad. And arsenic album 30C was administered twice daily for 7 days. So in RCT analysis, total 3,201 population covered. Out of those, I just want to mention here that in the intervention group where we have distributed this arsenic, so from 0.61%, the result was to 0.7%, where in the placebo group it was 0.86% to 0.36%. Means only 5.50 developed COVID-like illnesses to whom this arsenic album was given. So overall protection rate was 80% against COVID-19 infection when data was analyzed against co-founder and effect modifiers. It was found statistically significant. So this study also established that advisory published by Ministry of Ayush for using arsenic album 30 as significant prophylactic effect in the population. Another study was homeopathy as an adjuvant to standard treatment protocol in management of coronavirus infection. This was also a randomized placebo controlled trial, and control trial was commenced in first part of pandemic in Pune to test the efficacy of individualized homeopathic treatment as an adjuvant to modern medicine treatment. The endpoint of trial was to measure impact on patient distress, mortality rate, laboratory parameters, minimizing length of stay, thus curtailing the resource utilization of the hospitals. So 300 participants were admitted in 4 tertiary care modern medicine hospital. The treatment are received individualized homeopathic treatment plus a standard modern treatment which was available on the basis of stages of illness. So the study was reviewed by a third party, and the study demonstrated a clinical superiority of treatment arm over placebo arm in some relevant parameters. A significant impact factor was observed in relief of patient distress, reduction in CRP as a pro-inflammatory parameter, mortality rate and length of stay in hospital. Another study was taken in homeopathy. It was from Delhi government, and it was a retrospective cohort study. So in this retrospective cohort study, confirmed COVID-19 patient admitted at a COVID healthcare center in New Delhi in April to June 2020 were given conventional and homeopathic treatment. Patients were grouped into mild, moderate or severe categories of disease, and their symptomatologic profile were analyzed to identify indicated homeopathic medicines. So a total, this study was done on total 196 COVID-19 cases, and data from that current study revealed that arsenic album, Bryonia alba, Pulsatilla nigricans, Nux vomica, Rus tox, and Gelsemium serpens are the most frequently indicated homeopathic medicines from this study. Another study was taken effectiveness of individualized homeopathy as an add-on to standard treatment of COVID-19. It was a randomized single-blind placebo-controlled study, and it was taken at Chirayu Hospital, a tertiary care dedicated COVID hospital in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, where they have taken 300 mild to moderate cases. They enrolled and randomized to receive standard of care plus homeopathy, that was given to 151 cases, and standard care plus placebo to 149 cases. And all the patients were followed for a period of 10 days. Data was recorded as per a structural format, and all patients underwent laboratory investigations as per the standard procedure of the hospital. Clinical recovery was the primary outcome in this study. Dr. Juhi Gupta, Dr. Devadatta Nayak, they were engaged in this study. And the clinical evolution of symptoms in homeopathy group along with the standard care was 2 days earlier as comparison to the placebo group. And patient receiving add-on homeopathy also showed earlier recovery and fever clearance. So these results shows effectiveness and beneficial role of adjuvant individualized homeopathic treatment in COVID-19 care, and suggests the importance of this integrative approach for better management of COVID-19 disease. Another study was taken comparative effectiveness of pre-identified homeopathic medicines in asymptomatic COVID-19 individuals receiving a standard treatment protocol. This was an open label randomized placebo controlled trial that was taken by Dr. Varanasi Roja, Sunita Tomar, Sanjay Gupta, this also from Madhya Pradesh. So a single center was selected, that was Government Homeopathic Hospital, which was declared as COVID care center by the government of Madhya Pradesh. And those patients were given these 3 medicines there plus placebo. So out of 346 patients screened, 200 patients were enrolled, 50 in each arm. 177 patients become RT-PCR negative by 15th day, because at that time 15th day RT-PCR negative was having some value at that time. And compliance to study medication was good. No serious adverse events were reported in the homeopathic group. Another study was taken. This was a population level prophylactic effect of arsenic album, a repeated cross-sectional pan-India study. This was taken by Dr. Anupriya Chaudhary and Devadatta Nayak. This was a pan-India data collection study, was undertaken in collaboration with various homeopathic medical colleges. So data was collected through repeated cross-sectional surveys in various population sets which received the prophylactic medicine and completed 21 days of post-prophylactic consumption over a period of February to August 2020. So a total of 132 surveys were conducted over 7 months to capture information on a uniform structure format and assess the incidence of COVID-19 in the population, which was the outcome measure of the study. So almost 6,70,000 individuals residing in 34 districts of 30 states India was captured. And arsenic album 30 showed prophylactic effect against COVID-19 and reduced the added risk in high risk population. The study validates the concept of homeopathic genus epidemicus yet again and recommends homeopathy as a viable, safe, inexpensive and effective approach to manage any new or unknown communicable disease in future. Another study was taken that was the incidence of influenza-like illness in participants taken arsenic album 30 immune booster during SARS-CoV-19 pandemic. That was a retrospective cohort study which was conducted at NIH, National Institute of Homeopathy. They conducted 14 medical camps for distribution of arsenic album to residents of Newtown in month of May, June, July 20. And after 6-7, hello. And after 6-7 months, a retrospective study was carried out among the study population. Hello, are you getting my voice?
बहुत क्लियरली पूछती है, अगर मैं उसको ये चीज बोलूंगी अच्छा नहीं लगेगा ना।
Somebody's mic.
हाँ,
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Now I'm talking about incidence of influenza-like illness study in participants taken arsenic album 30 immune booster during SARS-CoV-19 pandemic, a retrospective cohort study. This study was taken by NIH, National Institute of Homeopathy, and they conducted 14 medical camps for distribution of arsenic album to residents of Newtown since months May, June and July 2020, and they followed after 6-7 months. So a retrospective cohort study was carried out among the studied population. So total 2,695 participants received arsenic album. Out of those, 487 subjects responded to follow-up after 1 month, like this. And in this, the outcome of study revealed that arsenic album acted as an effective immune booster, as 92.58% participants were found free from ILI, influenza-like illness symptoms. Only out of those, 7.4 developed ILI symptoms, and among which 2.73 were COVID positive, but all patients recovered. No mortality reported in study population. Another study was taken, evaluation of adjunct homeopathic treatment in COVID-19 patient in Gujarat State Dedicated COVID Hospital. This was also a multicentric single-arm retrospective cohort study, where during this, the ongoing COVID-19, the government of Gujarat through its Ayush department allowed treatment of COVID-19 hospitalized patients with add-on homeopathy. That was an integral approach. The retrospective study aims to analyze the data collected during adjuvant homeopathic treatment of COVID-19 patients by homeopathic medical officers. So out of total almost 7,000 patients who received adjuvant homeopathy, complete and correct information was found in 2,852 cases, which was used for analysis. Time to clinical improvement of symptoms after add-on homeopathy was 5 days, with 80% patient discharged by 7th day, out of which more than 20% had at least one comorbidity. Only 3 deaths reported in that cohort, that too were male participants, which were above 50 years of age. So the data highlighted that adjuvant homeopathy has promising response and relief of clinical symptom and less progression into severity in risk group of elderly with comorbidity. And another study was, this was the possible role of homeopathic prophylaxis arsenic album 30 in mitigating COVID-19 in Delhi prison complexes. That was an exploratory cohort study. 24,215 prison inmates were distributed the prophylactic medicine inside the prison barrack for the period of from June to September 2020 in 3 phases, and 3 weekly follow-up were done for the 21 days period post intake of the prophylactic. So the number of inmates who tested positive rates were 0.22%, and COVID-like symptoms were present in 7.54%. So during this study period, arsenic album 30 would have possibly played a role in mitigating the spread of COVID-19 along with other timely control measures put in place by the present authorities. Another study was post-prophylactic impact of arsenic album in Maharashtra police. COVID-19 in Maharashtra, homeopathic physician to Mumbai police after the release of advisory by Ministry of Ayush approached CCRH in facilitating distribution of arsenic album as a prophylactic medicine amongst police personnel. So physician of Mumbai and RRIH Mumbai for documentation of this prophylactic study, a follow-up questionnaire was prepared and made into link-based application. The link was only shared to all the police officers to maintain strict confidentiality. And among the data, 8,677 police personnel received. An analysis has been taken up for police personnel posted in containment zone. Keeping in view their chances to get infected are much higher as comparison to the police personnel posted in other zones. So out of 1870 police personnel posted in the containment zone, only 25.5% become positive out of their extreme exposure. However, police personnel who took only arsenic album 33 doses within a time period of 30 days, as per the advisory released by the Ministry of Health, only 5% become COVID positive, as comparison to 13.3 who took other prophylactic interventions like HCQs, vitamin supplements, etc. So our arsenic album role was 5% only out of those, as comparison to the 13.3% who taken other prophylactic measures. And this is the last study to mention. This study was taken at AIIMS Jhajjar, so I am going in detail of this study because I was the part of this team. Are you getting this? This slide, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this was team CCRH at ground zero. This is the ICU of AIIMS Jhajjar. And this was the name of a study, homeopathy as adjuvant to standard of care in moderate and severe cases, because mild cases are showing improvement by their own self. So we plan to take moderate and severe cases of COVID-19. This was my team there. This is the core
I have a
team.
question.
Hello.
Sorry to interrupt. My question is, how do we define the severe and moderate category of the cases, depending on the respiratory rate? Or
I'll tell you. This is as per ministry guidelines. I'll tell you. Mild and moderate, there is a clear definition of mild and moderate. I'll just tell you, mild illness is patient without dyspnea and who's having SpO2 level more than 94%. Okay. Moderate illness is known as SpO2, in which SpO2 level is between 90 to 93%. Plus another symptom is there to see their respiratory rate. It should be more than 24 per minute. Likewise, in severe illness cases, SpO2 level should be below 90% and their respiratory rate should be more than 30 per minute. Out of these severe illness cases, they used to go for critical illness like respiratory failure, septic shocks, multi-organ dysfunction like this. Clear?
yes. Just one question on top of that. Respiratory rate is and the oxygen levels are they go together? Like both of the data needs to be present, or only a single data is also enough? Like the respiratory rate, if it is high.
Both should be there. And these are the clear-cut guidelines issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on 13th June 2020. So after that, we all are following these criteria.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So this was the background of this study. Several attempts have been made, are being made and will be made to prevent the treatment of COVID-19. However, this is one of those situations in this history of mankind when enough is not enough. And it is not every day that you get the chance to serve the mankind. But when you do, it is not everywhere who rises to this occasion. Also, when you do it by yourself, it gives you an extreme sense of satisfaction, a sense of proud that you are the part of that team who came forward to serve the mankind when many of us are going through fear and anxiety from that unseen enemy. This was our team there, which includes to the left side all the allopathic doctors. Dr. Naval Kishore is there. He is from Rejoice Foundation, who planned all this study. He has the pivot role in this. She is Dr. Sushma Bhatnagar. She is the HOD of AIMS Palliative Medicine. This is our team, and these are all our allopathic counterparts. So this team of our homeopathic doctors who reached AIMS Jhajjar for their study looked up the doctors and the staff of the modern medicine for understanding the hows and whys of the standard of care being given to COVID patients. The COVID duty doctors and staff were extremely cooperative and supportive in guiding us about various techniques and practices being followed for these patients, because we don't know anything about prior to our visit to ICU, about the ICU setup. So right from interpreting the ICU multimodal monitors, these ventilators, use of oxygen support devices and patients' lab parameters for determining the severity of each case. The AIMS doctor and staff have been patiently teaching the homeopathy team all it wanted to know for conducting their study well. And even their cooperation went to that extent for convincing even some patients who were hesitant to take the homeopathic treatment in this ICU setup when compliance was an issue, helping with the everyday challenges of knowing patient status of admission or transfer to different wards as per their condition. Like they have given access to their server to us. So it is so heartwarming to witness such integrated approach for assuring a smooth conduct during the entire course of this study. So the protocol was conceived in June 2020. This was developed by Dr. Harleen Kaur. And when coronavirus has just begun to show its true color in India, CCRH really wanted to help the ailing as well as produce some evidence-based data on for homeopathic treatment of COVID-19. The objective of the study to evaluate the effect of homeopathic treatment when given as adjuvant in moderate and severe cases of COVID-19. The primary outcome was to see the RT-PCR negative report, how many days to convert RT-PCR negative, and secondary was to comparative change in clinical conditions assessed through COS, that is a clinical ordinal outcome scale of WHO at day 2, day 7, day 14 and day 28. Where was MyMop also from homeopathic point of view, we have added this. So patient oriented measure yourself medical outcome profile. This was we have taken from our homeopathy part of view. And laboratory parameters which include biomarkers for inflammation and coagulation like D-dimer, IL-6, CRP and ferritin. Likewise. This was the inclusion criteria. Age between 18 plus RT-PCR positive for moderate or severe cases. I already mentioned what is moderate and what is severe, so no need to go in detail. Basically, there are two types of. Okay, so no need to go detail. This was the exclusion criteria. Children and adolescents below 18, pregnant and lactating women, means there was only the admitted cases in ICU, so we have selected as per our inclusion criteria. This was the intervention. Individualized homeopathic treatment was given in form of potentized medicine, mostly the homeopathic mother tincture, occasionally too early in most cases to add on homeopathic group in addition to standard of care. As we know, in homeopathy, we fit the remedy in the patient and not the patient in the remedy. As we have our motto to treat the man in disease, not disease in man. As we all know that disease comprises from genes, family, plus environment, plus lifestyle of a patient. So there are common symptoms which is present in disease, there are common symptoms which is present in man, and there are common symptoms which is present in the remedy. But in homeopathy, we take uncommon symptoms of the disease, uncommon symptom of the man, and uncommon symptom of the remedy. So this is the basic difference between homeopathy and other pathies. This was the statistical analysis technique. Randomization was there. Randomized allocation to the trial group was carried out by a computer generated randomized list. Allocation ratio between both the group was 1:1. We don't have any choice to keep any person in the placebo group or in the medicine group. Whatever comes to us, we used to take as per our randomization chart. So this was the flow chart of this study. We assessed 556 cases, randomized them in two groups, 75 in add-on homeopathy group and 75 in standard care plus placebo. Initially, we have given the target of 120 cases, but we have taken 150 cases for the loss of follow-up and this thing.
हेलो, हाँ कॉल किया था अभी.
Should I continue? The baseline characteristic was
Please
here.
make it off.
Yes, the baseline features the age.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, he is muted, sir. Sir, unmute yourself.
Yourself. Sir,
Okay,
please-
okay.
please
Okay, now it's clear. Okay, should I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the baseline characteristic. Age was 58 in both group, almost 58. Men were more, 58 in add-on homeopathy and 51 in standard treatment group. Women are less, 17 and 24. Moderate cases in add-on group was 53 as comparison to 50, almost same. And severe cases in add-on homeopathy group was 19, where in that at standard treatment it was 23. These are the frequency of presenting complaints: dry cough and breathlessness plus fatigue and cough, anxiety. These were the 4 or 5 main symptoms of the patient. Fever, because they are only on this antipyretic, already on antipyretic, the fever was not present so much. Likewise, in parameters, these were the ferritin level, LDH level, D-dimer level, platelet count, CPK, like this. This blue indicates add-on homeopathy group and control is placebo plus standard care. Now I coming to the results. So RT-PCR seroconversion rate, wherein we have added the homeopathic medicines, the average was 9.13. At 9.13 days, they become RT-PCR negative, as comparison to the ST group, standard treatment group, where it was become negative on 12.34 days. So almost 3 days gap was there. So we achieved this in homeopathy add-on group. When we talk about the mortality, so the study reports 13.6% mortality rate, but one has to factor in that none of the participants were in asymptomatic or mild category. Thus the rate is concentrated to only moderate and severe cases. So add-on homeopathy group had 43 lesser casualties than standard treatment group and lesser transfer to mechanical ventilators. Mechanical ventilator was our end point. If patient from moderate to severe, if he goes to mechanical ventilator, then we just drop that. That was the end case of our study. So in case our treatment group, they have 43% less casualties. Likewise, mortalities in AOH group, we got 7 mortalities, wherein in standard treatment group it was 13. So holistic treatment homeopathy, especially when the severity of condition is rampant and the body is immunosuppressed, which is also interpreted as correlated with the cytokine MAM. Yet long drawn conclusion on this sensitivity variable would require replication of similar studies in the future studies. That is the fine. Now the main score is WHO, clinical outcome ordinal scale. So more add-on homeopathy participants become oxygen therapy free, and earlier within the follow-up of period of 28 days. We followed them for a week, for a month. And who are dependent on homeopathy, they become more easily oxygen free, because there is a criteria of this cause. If the patient is hospitalized and mild disease, so they give them score 3, means hospitalized patient but no oxygen support. If the oxygen by mask or nasal prong, then they give the score of 4. And in hospital severe cases where in non-invasive ventilator or high flow oxygen, so they give this mark as 5. Let me give like this 3, 4, 5. So this is the main criteria nowadays followed by WHO. Now there is another factor from homeopathic point of view, that is called MYOMOP, measure yourself medical outcome profile. So you see, this is red is the allopathic treatment group and blue is our homeopathic treatment group. So this is decrease, means they become more better than as comparison to allopathic group. Now let me tell you what is this MYOMOP and how we interpreted this in our study. Basically, we give scoring to all patients 0 to 6. So we have taken 2 points for symptoms. Suppose patient, we give 0. 0 means no symptom of the patient left. 1 is mild or minimal symptoms, and 2 we have given marks to maximum discomfort presented by the patient. Likewise, on basis of oxygen support, 0 means free from oxygen support. 1 is given for nasal prong. 2 numbers are given for oxygen mask. 3 marks are given for HFNC, the high flow nasal cannula. And 4 marks were given to NIV, that is non-invasive ventilator. And 6 marks to given MB, that is mechanical ventilator. If patient go through intubation process, so that was the end point of our study. So we just drop that patient from our study. And this is the overall lab parameters. So you can see it everywhere. Red is add-on. This is placebo plus allopathic, and blue is homeopathic group. So in every, either it is CRP, IL-6, D-dimer, ferritin, fibrogen, TLC count, LDH, alkaline phosphate, neutrophils count, platelet counts, prothrombin, everywhere our homeopathy group shown better results as comparison to the standard treatment. So improvement in laboratory parameters. In the laboratory parameters, all trends were in favor of add-on homeopathy group. Among these, improvement in following 4 parameters were statistically significant. CRP associated with disease development and in early predictor for severe COVID-19. TLC was associated with higher chances of developing severe illness of COVID-19. Platelet count and serum fibrogen, significant improvement in platelet count and fibrogen speaks of effective anticoagulant role. Whereas serum alkaline phosphate indicates lesser liver toxicity. Either the homeopathic medicine directly checked the damage caused on the liver due to the non-adverse effect of a few standard drugs, or since the medicine stopped the illness from worsening, lesser patient in add-on homeopathic group required increased doses of standard drugs. So we can't say now, but this was the trend. So we will go for analysis, further analysis for this. When the homeopathy medicine part was this, homeopathic treatment and the medicine used were the maximum medicine used veratrum virid, arsenic album, Rhina alba, China gelsemium, like this. So blue, this yellow is the moderate cases and red is the severe cases. So veratrum virid was used in 13 cases of moderate and 9 in severe cases, like this.
Sir, I have a question.
We also use some mother tinctures, and surprisingly Aspidosperma were used in maximum cases, 15 in severe and 4 in 15 in moderate cases and 4 in severe cases.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Sir,
Hello. Should I conclude first?
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello.
Please
So
go ahead.
homeopathy can be non-interfering and successful and integrated mode, thus advocating the permission in the best interest of hospitalized patient of moderate and severe category of COVID-19. This was the conclusion point, and these are the discussion point. There were some myths and facts, like if I go one by one, RT-PCR negative status doesn't necessarily elevate the morbidity and more specifically the mortality risk of a patient. Many patients are regarded fit for discharge even before they test negative for RT-PCR. And regardless of significant results in RT-PCR conversion to negative reflects the role of homeopathy in checking the viral load from further growth. And number 4 was multimorbidity is a major risk factor for severity in COVID-19. Of the 23 participants of ICU, 14 had more than 2 comorbidities, 7 each in each group. And the effect of homeopathic medicine on most biochemical and hematological parameters used for clinical status of patient was positive. And better clinical improvement with lesser mortality speaks in favor of enable homeopathic treatment in integrated mode in the COVID treatment center for including intensive care setups. And this was our team after completion of study. And this is our core team. And we acknowledge Dr. Naval Kumar ji from Rejoice Foundation to plan this study, Dr. Sushma Bhatnagar, HOD AIMS Palliative Medicine, for allow us to enter in the ICU, Dr. Anil Khurana, DGC SRH, for providing all the helps and motivation, Scientific Advisory Board and Ethical Committee, participants in the study, lab diagnostic partners, Pathfind and Metropolis, they used to go to their home after discharge for sample collection, and the staff of AIMS, Judger and CCR is involved in caudal affairs. I just want to show you one simple video. Hope you will enjoy this.
Hello. Meeting is over or not? Hello. Hello.
I think they are.
Hello. Are you getting the video?
No, we are not getting the video.
No.
The only screen shared is the presentation.
Okay, let me check. Now can you see the video?
No.
No, sir.
To me, it is not visible. I think you'll have to share the complete screen.
Okay. Now is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay.
We are not getting the audio. I don't know why.
Not getting the audio?
Yes, we are not hearing anything.
Oh.
We are able to see the screen, but we are not able to hear anything.
Okay. I think I should share it to Dr. Poonam. She can do, if she can do. Because it's 5 minutes video, you will see what was their response.
If it is not of big size, maybe that can be put in the Teams chat.
Okay, I'm trying.
Hello.
Yes,
No
I'm trying.
sound.
Yes.
No, I don't think we can share the video in the chat box, sir. It can be a copyright issue. So we
Okay.
can only show but not share the video with all the participants since it has all the faces and everything. So it
Okay.
can be. This is Dr. Harleen, sir.
Okay. Yeah, बताइए डॉक्टर साहब क्या कह रहे हैं?
But not really share it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I think, yeah, let's not share that in the Teams chat.
Okay. Leave it. So I think my part is over now. Hello.
So, can I go ahead with the question?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is my hypothetical question. That when we were going with the standard treatment of allopathy, and when we have mixed homeopathy with allopathy, we got these results. But was there data for wherein the patient has only taken the homeopathy treatment and the data collected for that? I think in those particular cases, homeopathy would have given better results.
Why not?
Because
Why not speak in Hindi? You are not. Why speak in English? Please speak in Hindi. If you are not there.
ओके तो सर मेरा ये कहना है कि जहाँ पे हमने स्टैंडर्ड ट्रीटमेंट को फॉलो किया है और एलोपैथी के साथ साथ होम्योपैथी को ट्राई किया है तो हमने रिजल्ट्स में डिफरेंसेस देखे हैं. आई थिंक कि जब हम केवल होम्योपैथी वाले ट्रीटमेंट को पेशेंट अगर लेता है और तब वो अगर डेटा एनालाइज करे तो इट मे बी इट हैव मोर बेटर रिस्पॉन्स.
देखिए कुछ एथिकल इश्यूज हो सकते हैं उसमें. एक स्टैंडर्ड केयर ट्रीटमेंट तो बहुत ज़रूरी है पेशेंट के लिए. सपोज ऑक्सीजन की ज़रूरत है, होम्योपैथी में अभी तक तो क्या हो रहा था कि माइल्ड केसेस ही ट्रीट किए जा रहे थे, तो माइल्ड का तो अब ऐसे सोचते हैं कि भाई होम आइसोलेशन में भी जाके ठीक हो रहे हैं। तो ये जो चूंकि मॉडरेट एंड सीवियर केसेस हैं, तो ये विदाउट ऑक्सीजन सपोर्ट रहते ही नहीं है। मॉडरेट का मतलब है कि वो ऑक्सीजन सपोर्ट चाहिए, और अभी हमारे पास होम्योपैथी में वो फैसिलिटी हमारे आईपीडी सेटअप्स में नहीं है। अगर मिनिस्ट्री के सीनियर लोग अगर हैं तो हमारे पास नोएडा में 35 बेडेड एक हॉस्पिटल है, और हमारी वहाँ की जो ऑफिसर इंचार्ज है वो भी जुड़ी हुई है अभी हमारे साथ। तो अगर कुछ ऐसा सेटअप हमें करके दे सकते हैं तो हम उनके, अभी तो हम एड ऑन ही कर सकते हैं, एड ऑन के बाद फिर हम बाद में उनको धीरे धीरे करके कुछ कर सकते हैं कि चलो हम मॉडरेट केसेस भी ले सकते हैं, होम्योपैथी पे देते ही हैं। लेकिन जो क्रिटिकल केयर वाले हैं या जो सीवियर केसेस हैं उसमें भी कांट टेक रिस्क, क्योंकि मैं ये नहीं कहता कि एलोपैथी हॉस्पिटल्स में जाके सारे सही हो रहे हैं, लेकिन पेशेंट जो है उनको तसल्ली जब तक नहीं होगी, जब तक उनके आसपास वेंटिलेटर्स और ये सब नहीं होता है। तो और एक होम्योपैथी हॉस्पिटल में अगर कोई डेथ होती है तो उस पर पूरा हंगामा और पूरा मीडिया सामने आ जाएगा, और एलोपैथी में, और हम सुन ही रहे हैं जो एक हो रहा है, रोज की इतनी सारी डेथ हो रही है, तो उसमें उनकी जो थेरेपी पे प्रश्न चिन्ह नहीं लगता है। हमारे होम्योपैथी में एक यही है एक सबसे बड़ी बात कि अगर आपने ट्रीटमेंट लिया, अगर ठीक नहीं हुए एलोपैथी से, तो आप कहते हैं कि डॉक्टर बेकार है। लेकिन अगर होम्योपैथी में ट्रीटमेंट लिया और आपने ट्रीटमेंट से नहीं ठीक हुए तो आप कहते हैं कि होम्योपैथी बेकार है। तो वी कांट टेक सो मच रिस्क।
मैं इसलिए ये चीज लेके आया क्योंकि दो पैरामीटर्स होते हैं हर एक एलोपैथी ड्रग के, NNT एंड ADR, जो कि ये तय करते हैं कि बॉडी उस ड्रग को एक्सेप्ट करेगी या नहीं करेगी। इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स कहीं ना कहीं उसके अंदर उसका रोल रहता है। तो दैट्स द रीजन मैंने ये क्वेश्चन किया। थैंक्स फॉर आंसरिंग।
वेलकम वेलकम।
ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है अगर कोई बोल रहा है तो।
डॉक्टर पूनम।
There is a question in chat box. Balmurugan sir want to ask for normal person how many days to take arsenic album 30 and dosage please.
That is only as a prophylaxis. We are giving 3 doses. Only 3 doses, empty stomach, 3 days, and to repeat after 15 days as a prophylaxis.
सर उसमें एज ग्रुप का कोई कंडीशन है और प्रेग्नेंट लेडी के लिए?
नहीं, इसमें प्रेग्नेंट लेडी भी ले सकती है, एज ग्रुप किसी भी छोटा बच्चे से लेकर बड़े तक ले सकते हैं।
थैंक यू सर।
और जो कोविड पॉजिटिव है वो उनके लिए क्या डोज रहेगी सर?
उनके लिए डिपेंड करेगा कि अगर आर्सेनिक एल्बम की उनको जरूरत है, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ सिम्टम बेस्ड होता है ना, तो आर्सेनिक एल्बम है, फिर वो डिपेंड करता है कि 3 टाइम्स ए डे करके 5-6 गोली दिन में 3 बार लेंगे, या डिपेंड करता है डॉक्टर ने कैसे बताया, वो आर्सेनिक का केस भी हो सकता है, वो ब्रैनिया का भी हो सकता है, वो लाइको का भी हो सकता है, वो स्पॉन्जिया का भी हो सकता है। तो होम्योपैथी में कोई हमने बताया ना, वी ट्रीट द पेशेंट ऑफ द डिजीज, तो ऐसे ये आर्सेनिक का अभी तक जैसे डॉक्टर देवादत्ता नायक ने स्टडी की है, तो उसमें ये है कि मोर देन 80% को नहीं हुआ है वो, और वो एज ए प्रोफाइलैक्सिस अभी उसका रोल है। लेकिन अगर पेशेंट के सिम्टम होंगे आर्सेनिक के, तो वो आर्सेनिक भी उसको दी जाएगी, वो डिपेंड करता है सीवियरिटी ऑफ डिजीज के ऊपर।
There is one more question, sir, in chat box. Dr. Joydeep Khanra wants to ask how arsenic prevents infection, and do you have any serum data available with?
I didn't get the question, but how arsenic prevent the infection? Okay, because arsenic has influenza-like illness symptoms already. This coryza, running nose. So these are the basic primary symptoms of the COVID also. So by that symptom similarity, arsenic work as prophylaxis.
सर ये इम्यून सिस्टम को बूस्ट करता है, प्रिवेंट करने में हेल्प करता है। मैं
ऐसा माना जाता है कि होम्योपैथी कोई भी मेडिसिन होगा वो आपका इम्यूनिटी को स्ट्रॉन्ग करता है, क्योंकि वो पेशेंट स्पेसिफिक मेडिसिन हमारे होती है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। पेशेंट चिली है, हॉट है, जैसे हमने बताया था कि कोई भी बीमारी है वो किसी भी डिजीज, वो किसी भी पेशेंट को अकॉर्डिंग टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अफेक्ट करती है। तो एक ही कोविड-19 में अलग अलग सिम्टम्स हो सकते हैं एक ही पेशेंट्स के। कोविड-19 सबको है, लेकिन अलग अलग रिएक्शन होता है। तो उस रिएक्शन के बेसिस पे जो अल्टर्ड रिएक्शंस होते हैं, उसी के बेसिस पे वी यूज टू प्रिस्क्राइब होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन।
ओके, थैंक्स।
मेरा ख्याल से टाइम मुझे 40 मिनट्स दिया गया था। आई एम सॉरी, वो कुछ ज्यादा लंबा हो गया। डॉक्टर पूनम, आप म्यूट हैं अभी शायद। आप म्यूट हैं डॉक्टर पूनम, वी आर नॉट गेटिंग योर वॉइस। यस,
Now audible, sir?
yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for a very highly knowledgeable and informative session. And thank you for our knowledge with the wonderful scientific works done in the field of homeopathy. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Privilege having to extend a formal now, I would like to invite Dr. Paritosh Jha.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege and honor to propose a vote of thanks on completion of webinar on exploring the facts COVID-19 homeopathic research experiences organized by RAV under the umbrella of Ministry of Ayush. On behalf of organizing committee, I want to thank our respected speaker, Dr. Subhash Kaushik sir, for sharing his experience regarding the topic. Thank you, sir, for excellent coverage on the facts regarding the topic. On behalf of organizing committee, I want to thank respected Vaidya Rajesh Koteja sir, Secretary Ministry of Ayush, for his continuous blessing and encouragement. I'm also grateful to Shri Pramod Kumar Pathak sir, Special Secretary Ministry of Ayush, Shri P.N. Ranjit Kumar sir, Joint Secretary Ministry of Ayush, Vaid Manoj Nesri sir, Advisor Ayurveda Ministry of Ayush, and all the officials of Ministry of Ayush for their guidance and continuous support. I would like to take this opportunity to pay my heartiest regard to respected Padma Bhushan Vaid Shri Devendra Trigunaji, President Governing Body of RAV, and Vaid Anupam Srivastav sir, Director of RAV, for his continuous support, guidance, and enormous cooperation. I would like to thank the people who work behind the scene to execute this program, our RAV team, for their tremendous effort to make this program a resounding success. I'm also thankful to all the participants and distinguished guests for their constantly connecting with us throughout the webinar. Thank you all and have a nice day. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.